My beloved, my radiant child of light, my celestial warrior who has endured storms no soul even knows about, inhale, do not fear. But please, I implore you as an angel, do not overlook this. Your name has just been spoken in the court of heaven. And before you even reach the end of this sentence, a woman, the one you once trusted, is walking into a real courtroom holding documents, not ordinary sheets. They are lies disguised as truth, crafted to silence you, yet heaven witnessed it first. That is why this very message was placed directly in your path. Archangel Michael declares only 30 seconds remain. She is preparing to speak. But God commanded, "Speak to my child before she does. Give them a chance to change the ending." They were never meant to discover it this way. Her name appeared to me in flames. Her hands are not pure. What she is about to say under oath could alter the way the world perceives you. Yet wait, there's still one opening. Just one. The divine doorway of reversal remains unsealed, but only if you fully open this and allow heaven to fight beside you tonight. Because once she signs that last page, her words will spread like wildfire, and even truth could be buried beneath her performance. You once trusted her. You shared something sacred, a secret, a document, a photograph, a word. And now she's turning it against you. My child, do not fear, because the mightiest power across all realms stands with you. It's me, Michael, sword drawn, wings expanded. But you must listen now. Remain until the very last line, because something is coming there that will change everything. God didn't rouse me to whisper today. He said, "Tell my child this is not a warning, it's a rescue. And if they skip this, she triumphs. But if they stay, miracles move." Then the courtroom becomes her confessional. Before we continue, pause a moment. Beloved, let your spirit grasp that this isn't another random message. This is God redirecting your timeline in real time. You are guided right here. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Now focus closely, because each sentence that follows is a key, and every word has been spiritually encoded to free you from the snare she is crafting around you. The deceit, the defamation, the spiritual battle dressed in legal paper. She's not alone. Someone else supports her. Yes, she has help. The reason she suddenly filed these documents is because she knows you're about to be revealed, blessed, seen, and favored publicly. But don't worry. God says this: the trap she built will become the testimony you give, but only if you follow heaven's call. Open this completely, not later. She's walking in heels, power suit, hair tied tight like she's ready for business. But what she doesn't realize is heaven has already seen the next 72 hours of her life, and something shocking will silence her voice. If you remain here with me, take this as your confirmation. You felt something uneasy in your chest this morning, a tremor, a spark, a flutter of fear you couldn't name. Now you understand why. Your spirit sensed the strike. But the strike is not triumph, because you are not alone. You have never been alone. This message is your weapon. And with each passing second you stay, heaven is rewriting her entire script. Listen carefully now. She doesn't merely want to silence you. She wants access to something: land, an account, a connection, maybe even your name. She believes if she wins this, she can reshape your identity completely. But Archangel Michael says, her pages may be ink, but our scroll is fire, and fire erases ink. So breathe, because the part that follows will send chills down your spine. This is not just spiritual, it's also physical. A courier is coming, and in this message lies the exact way to receive what God is sending your way. But if you stop here, you'll miss the ultimate truth, and I don't want that for you. Before we move further, I must whisper something sacred into your ear, and this next portion is meant solely for you. If your soul already knows this isn't coincidence, glowing star, subscribe to your miracle. You didn't stumble upon this randomly. Heaven is using this very space to speak directly to you and only you. If you want these divine words to keep arriving at the perfect moment, ensure you stay connected to the voice that guided you here. This is how God will deliver messages next time before danger even nears you. Your future self will be grateful. Now, back to the battle. Do you recall the photo she once asked you to send? Or the moment she recorded that voice note, laughing and saying, "Don't worry, I won't use it." She had already been planning this. The courtroom might appear to be a physical space, but spiritually, it's a battlefield, and angels are already standing in formation beside you. The judge may not perceive it, and the papers may seem legitimate, yet heaven understands that the heart itself is the truest evidence, and her heart has decayed with envy. She watched you rise. She noticed how people started trusting, admiring, and loving you, and she couldn't bear it. So she made her move. What she never realized is that your protection isn't just emotional, it's divine. And this message is heaven's official proclamation. We are intervening in her case, because even if she enters that courtroom with what looks like proof, God can turn her pen into silence, her testimony into tears, and her deceit into ladders that lift you higher. But only if you remain with me. Don't avert your eyes. Don't skip even a single second, because you'll begin to notice something. The more you absorb these words, the stronger your chest will feel, and your spirit will begin to rise within you. That's because heaven is transferring strength into you right now. Your voice will not be stolen, your truth will not be twisted, and your destiny will not be postponed. In the following lines, I will unveil who stands behind her. Yes, there is another. Perhaps someone in your family, or one who always smiled to your face. But don't worry, they've just been exposed, and by the time you reach the final word of this message, you'll know what to do. My beloved, you didn't come this far to be silenced by someone who pretends to be fearless in court, but weeps when truth confronts her in private. The woman you once considered safe, the one who once held your secrets like jewels, now holds them as weapons. Yet what she doesn't understand is this: God never sleeps, and Archangel Michael never misses. Even though her documents are moving from one desk to another and her lips are painted with false courage, she is not the author of your story. She's merely a chapter, a chaotic one, but not the final one, because your life was divinely written and heaven already revised this section long before you were born. Don't tremble at her loudness. Those who shout the most are rarely right. They're just loud. Now, child, let me disclose something unusual. Someone tipped her off. That's how she even dared to print that document. She was fueled by a jealous voice, a voice that never celebrated your victories, that constantly shifted blame, that sowed doubt, and made you feel like you were too much. That voice is closer than you imagine. But do not fear, because God is about to expose both of their names. And when it happens, it will feel as though the heavens themselves spoke. I see a table. I see a conversation happening behind your back. I see your name being mocked, spoken like you're nothing but a stepping stone. But they have no idea. You're not a stone. You're the sword. You're the storm. You're the chosen one. And God never allows his chosen to become the punchline. Let me take you back to that moment when she said, "I'm always here for you." Do you remember? That moment wasn't genuine. She was already rehearsing her betrayal. But listen to me. She practiced deception while you carry illumination, and light always prevails, every single time. Now something extraordinary is about to unfold, something you didn't foresee. A voice will rise in that courtroom against her, and it won't come from who you expect. It might be a stranger or someone silent who is told to remain uninvolved, but that person will be anointed by God to speak, and their words will shatter her entire plan. Yes, she had a plan, and it was timed precisely to this very day you are reading this. This isn't random. This is war, a spiritual war, and victory belongs to you as long as you don't walk away now. Because in a few moments I will reveal something I was not permitted to say until today. Something connected to your birth, something about a hidden contract you never signed, yet your spirit was entangled in. Stay. Let me ask you something. Have you been feeling weary for no reason? Sudden weakness in your legs or back? Headaches that seem to appear from nowhere? That's spiritual interference, and it intensified the moment she filed those papers because her words carried energy, an energy that tried to invade your peace. But here's the twist. God allowed it for one purpose only, so that heaven could now overrule it publicly, loudly, and forever. And that is what this message truly is. Not a warning, but a divine objection. And if you keep reading, Michael himself will reveal how to undo what she attempted to destroy. But only the courageous reach the section I'm about to write. Only those who truly trust that heaven is watching, arranging, and shielding reach the next breath. You're still here. So here comes your proof. She never imagined you would uncover this message. She thought she still had time, thought she had you trapped, thought nobody was observing her next step. But now everything is uncovered. Heaven has intercepted her path, and God just paused the next 48 hours on your behalf. Let me slow down, because what I'm about to share could transform how you view the past 5 years of your journey. This woman isn't merely a figure from your present. She's someone tied to your past, and that connection between you wasn't random. It was karmic, spiritual. And now it's concluding because her assignment in your story is finished. What she's doing now isn't part of your future. It's the final breath of her ego. But don't get it confused. Ego shouts the loudest when it's dying. Now, breathe with me. Feel that sensation? That's peace starting to pierce through fear. She's walking boldly now, but soon she will stumble, because her case has a fracture, a spiritual fracture. And God just instructed me to tell you that crack will widen and justice will flow through it like rainfall. Remember that photo, that voice note, that secret you once whispered in tears? She's attempting to weaponize it. But what she doesn't realize is that God turns weapons into wisdom, and the very thing she meant to bury you with will become your blessing. You'll be astonished at how this flips, because heaven delights in plot twists, and right now your enemies are about to become your confirmation. So don't plead with her to stop. Don't text, don't call, don't respond in the way she expects. Let heaven handle her instead. Your silence will echo louder than her falsehoods, and your calm will shake her nerves. Let her present her case. God is preparing a counter case written in sacred ink. It has one witness, truth, and that witness never loses. Stay close, because the next part will move you deeply. You think you know who alerted her, but you don't. The one who handed her that file, that name, that weakness of yours, is someone who still pretends to love you. Yes, someone who still smiles at your messages, still views your stories, still asks, "How are you?" as though they care. But behind the screen, they handed your piece to a serpent. But don't cry, because this message is not about sorrow. It's about triumph. By the conclusion of this divine letter, God will reveal not only who they are, but also how to protect your destiny, so no one can ever attempt this again. Now you see, it was never just her. There was a whisperer, a shadow behind her script, someone who wore affection as a disguise, but carried envy like a hidden dagger. The moment you said, "I trust you," they saw an opening. But listen to me. God does not play with betrayal, and Archangel Michael does not defend deceivers. Right now, as you read these lines, a mirror is turning, one that will expose her and the one aiding her. I see a name written in red, not metaphorical red, but literal red ink, a signature on a document she was never meant to possess. That name has haunted your path quietly. It could belong to someone you once cried to, or someone who once said, I've always stood by you, but they didn't. They held your secrets and traded them for power. But God says they tried to hijack your harvest, so I'm overturning their plan. Child, she's not walking into that courtroom with only a file. She's walking in carrying witchcraft. Yes, I said it. Curses have been murmured in boardrooms, dark prayers whispered over candles, jealousy masked as ambition. But the spell shattered the moment you opened this message. The courtroom is no longer her platform. It has become heaven's stage. And instead of you being judged, she will be watched by the only judge who never overlooks a detail, the one whose gavel breaks every manipulation. Let me show you something. That missed phone call from 3 nights ago, it wasn't accidental. Your angels were intervening, preventing you from engaging in a conversation that would have fueled this attack. Heaven doesn't merely guard you from harm, it shields you from conversations, contracts, and connections not meant for you. You might feel as though you're losing people, but child, you're only losing poison. You think this betrayal is breaking you? No, my beloved. It's shaping something new, a higher wall of protection, a spiritual armor that will guard you for a lifetime. That courtroom, which was meant to be your burial ground, has just been transformed by God into your stage of elevation, because after this, you will be promoted openly, fearlessly, powerfully. Take another breath, because I can feel someone trembling while reading this. You're asking yourself, can I truly endure this? And I say with fire blazing through my wings, not only will you endure, you will rise. And soon they'll whisper to themselves, how did they recover so quickly? But it won't be quick. It will be divine, because divine restoration feels like a miracle. And you, child, you are heaven's living miracle in motion. That woman underestimated your covering. She assumed you had no divine backup. But what she doesn't know is that your name is inscribed upon heaven's walls, and your heart is under the constant gaze of angels. Every tear you've shed has been gathered in a golden vessel. Each time you broke, God documented it, not to punish, but to repay. And the repayment is on its way. Do you feel that heat stirring in your chest? That's the Holy Spirit affirming this line. The weapon she formed will return upon her, folded, multiplied, and undeniable. God doesn't only shield his children, he exalts them. And you, my radiant child, are about to rise to levels your enemies can't rationalize, not through fame, not through numbers, but through favor. The kind of favor that never asks permission, the kind that enters rooms before you arrive, the kind that causes your name to be spoken in places your feet have not yet touched. And the woman in that courtroom, she will sense the shift and she won't be able to prevent it. She's filing her papers, but God is filing purpose, and purpose always prevails. Now, let's discuss something delicate. That bank account she's trying to reach, that family member she's using for leverage, that old message or email she's clutching like evidence. All of it will collapse, not because it's invalid, but because you no longer exist in that realm. You've shifted timelines. The version of you she attacked has vanished. You are now wrapped in a frequency she cannot penetrate. That's why she's desperate. She feels it even if she can't name it. Her grasp is slipping and her panic is loud. Let her shout. Let her scramble among papers and whispers, because you are anchored in divine calm. You will win without raising your voice. You will ascend without rushing. You will thrive without fighting. Because heaven is speaking now, and its voice cannot be muted. Are you still here with me? Good. Because this part will unlock a memory. Recall that night when you wept harder than ever before, maybe on your bed, maybe in the shower, maybe curled in a corner unseen. That night, the case against you began in the spirit, and you had no idea. But Michael did. And from that day, he has been building this message, word by word, proof by proof, line by line, to prepare you, awaken you, and rescue you. You are never crazy. You are under spiritual assault, but now you are under divine protection. And from this moment onward, no voice raised against you shall stand. No courtroom deceit will hold power. No betrayal will rewrite your destiny. Because the next 21 days are about to unveil miracles you didn't even request. Yes, 21 days. Watch carefully, because between now and 3 weeks from now, there will be a reversal so divine that people will wonder, did God intervene personally? And the answer will be yes, because this time, He didn't just step in, He took complete control. Now, inhale deeply again, because I'm about to reveal what she feared the most. Are you ready? What I'm about to say next is her greatest fear. It wasn't your words. It wasn't your intellect. It wasn't your skill. It was your favor, that invisible, untouchable radiance that made people trust you instantly, that silent energy that caused rooms to change the moment you entered, that mysterious grace that opened doors even when you had no key. She saw it, and it terrified her, because she finally understood something. No matter what she copied, no matter how close she stood to your light, it never became hers. So she changed her method. If she couldn't become you, she decided to try breaking you, not with blows, but with paperwork, not with insults, but with insinuations, not with weapons, but with silence and shadows. But she miscalculated. She underestimated the flame within you, and she forgot whose child you truly are. You are not just another soul wandering this earth, you are a chosen one, marked by pain, yet also by promise, marked by loss, yet also by liberation. And in this very hour, God is lifting the veil, not just from her motives, but from your inheritance. Yes, this was never about drama. It was always about destiny.